I got a phone call from a very good friend of mine. Lives in Idaho. We see each other 4 or 5 times a year at some of the larger shows, and I'm going to be seeing him at the end of the month. He called saying, I got a deal. You're not going to believe this deal, but I got a deal. It is a hoard, a grouping of coins from a local collector that collected only the Denver Mint issues, the mint of his area. But the coin he collected, well, it was the Barber $50. Now, Denver opened its doors in 1906, and that series ended in 1915. So there wasn't that many in the first place. So the early Denver Barbers are special. Well, tonight we have the Hoard, or the Bonanza, as you will, and we have them all. So as I referenced, the Denver Mint opened its doors in 1906. And they made 3 silver coins in 1906. It was the Barber dime, the Barber quarter, and the largest silver coin they struck was the Barber $50. They did not strike any of the Morgan dollars because none were being made at this time. It wasn't until 1921 that Denver struck its first Morgan dollar. But if you look at the calendar, so to speak, there were 4 mints that struck the Barber $50. Philadelphia, New Orleans, San Francisco, and then the new kid on the block was Denver. So a total of 4 different mints. So the Barber series started in 1892. It went all the way through 1915. You just saw the last coin in the sequence right there. Fun, great look, great feel. But when you break down all the years, here's what makes it special. They only made 7 Denver Barber $50. So when he said he had a heck of a deal, it's because there was a pretty equal sort of all 7 different years in the Barber series. 06, 07, 08, 11, 12, 13, and then 15, the last year of issue. So tonight, this Bonanza means you can get a Denver minted Barber $50 at $29.95. But if you buy 7 or multiples thereof with us here this evening, you'll get them all. Every Denver Barber $50 ever struck. So, kind of a nice little flair with that, right? We did find all 7 of these coins. I know I'm only showing you 6 on the screen, but there are 7 as a reference. And we found all 7. A competition has them at $67.50, $67, $58.50, $59.50, $66, $67.50, and $65.50. Those are the prices they had for the 7. Tonight, our price, $29.95, and I'm not going to repeat myself 7 times, but I think you know where I'm going with this. We're half the price and all the coins. So as they raised their prices, as they got to the more difficult coins struck at Denver in this very short series, we're flat. But it's because we bought it right. If you buy it right, we can have a conversation to bring it out properly as well. So just like the Morgan dollar, the bottom of the coin, 6 o'clock, above the D and the O and dollar is that mint mark. Yeah, special stuff. So again, this time in history, 1906 when Denver started, there were no Morgan dollars being struck. The Morgan dollar series started in 1878, went to 1904, 27 consecutive years, and then stopped. And it was never supposed to be brought back. We had the Pittman Act hit us in 1918, which melted about 60% of all of the Morgan dollars ever struck to help out the English with the run on silver in India. We just couldn't give them our Morgan dollars because it would say the U.S. is in. And at that time, Woodrow Wilson, our president, had us still neutral. So we melt a bunch. We then, with the silver left over when the war was left, before the peace dollar design, went back and struck the Morgan dollar one more time in 1921. That's where the Denver Morgan comes in. If the peace dollar would have been settled at that time, there would have been no Denver Morgan. Well, luckily there is. Just makes the flavor fun. So the largest coin pushed through circulation, early years of the Denver Mint, were the Barber half dollar, the Barber family. This is at a time in our history when all of our coin designs were the same. And it was because, well, we don't have smartphones. We don't have computers. We don't have laptops, right? We don't have fax machines, right? This is a time in history when we had what? Line drawings. The early 1900s, photography was there, but the application of photography in newspapers, how did they transmit those pictures across the country? So the U.S. government, for the first 100 years, every silver coin they made at a certain time was a certain design. The early 1800s was the bust design. The seated Liberty half dollar, seated Liberty series, right? The middle of the 1800s. And the last of all of them are the same was the Barber series. 1892 to 1915 here on the half dollar, 1916 on the dime and the quarter. So tonight again, our Denver Hoard. All hand-selected, circulated, as you can see on your screen. There are only 7 years. And tonight, our Hoard has them all. So if you're buying one coin, you'll get a random Denver. If you buy 3, it'll be 3 different. But if you buy 7, you will get all 7 of the Denver Barber half dollars that were ever made. And they're all hand-selected beauties like the ones you've seen on your screen. The best of the best, period. 06, 07, 08, 11, 12, 13, and the last year, 15. So we're not holding anything back. We're not saying up to 6 different because we're hanging on to that 06D because everybody wants that first year of issue, or the 15D because it's the last year of issue, or the 12D, which is really the hardest one to find in the group. No, they're all on the table. We bought the Hoard as a deal. They were all Denver, sorted them out, and tonight, at least tonight, our first presentation, our first conversation on this, we can offer up to 7 different without blinking, which means at $29.95. Think about that. Can you buy a Walking Liberty half dollar? Can you buy a Franklin half dollar? Can you buy a Kennedy half dollar? All the same weight, all the same size. For under $30 today, with silver where it's at. And we have the Barbers, the oldest of the group. Guys, give me a 30-second clock, please. So again, the Barber half dollar was made from 1892 to 1915. The Denver Mint opened its doors in 1906. They only struck 7 coins in this series. 06, 07, 08, 11, 12, 13, and the year 1915, the last year of issue. Our deal tonight is random, Denver minted of those 7. But if you buy 7 tonight, we'll give you the entire collection at that number. That's the fun of it all. So not $58, not $67, our crazy price tonight, $29.95 each while they last.